As we run around the building trying to find interesting things to point out, I've just found out business is good for Meyer Werft, the construction company here, because as you can see behind me, we have a green wall and a blue wall. The blue is fresh paint because they've just recently extended the building by about 200 yards because the ships are getting bigger and there's more and more orders. Well, we've pretty much walked right around the entire building now, and I don't think there's a better shot than this that shows you a great view of the Eclipse, literally halfway through construction. You can see there 14 decks, and it's sitting in the bottom of the dry dock, and the dry dock is exactly where we're heading now. That's a great view there. You can actually see the hull shape sitting effectively in the bottom of the dry dock. That's the keel of the ship, and above it 13 or 14 individual decks. Okay, this is a very interesting space indeed. This is that orifice that's been cut out in the hull for the Azipod drives to be inserted. Those are those propellers that rotate through 360 degrees. This is where all the power of the ship is transmitted into the hull. Look at the thickness of these webs. 2 inches thick. This is the strongest part of the ship. Absolutely incredible, and I don't think any human being's ever stood here and been able to actually talk about it to a camera. So this is cool. I'm pretty sure you can guess where we are right now. This is my place, the main stage of the theatre, under construction. And that's that pit we were talking about earlier on, where we bring the artists up and down. This is where I would be standing if I'm addressing you when we're doing a show. And wow, this is going to be a place of business in about 6 months' time. I shall now sing. Che bella cosa, una giornata sole, un'aria serena, dopo una tempesta, e l'aria fresca. They're laughing at me. The workmen are laughing at me. I'm not doing any more than that. Hey! No sense of humour. Okay, that's the theatre, and now we're going to go into this main section of hull, the biggest piece that's so far been constructed of the Eclipse. Let's go. And here is my favourite part of the ship. Behind me, one of the Wärtsilä, or actually a pair of the Wärtsilä engines, that provide all the power, not only for the propulsion of the ship, but for the entire electrical supply. Each engine has 16 cylinders, there's 4 of them, 64 cylinders, taking care of business. Not only is the ship being built inside an enormous shed, but it's also being built inside an enormous dry dock. And that's what I'm standing in right now. The Eclipse is being built with its keel right on the bottom of this dry dock. And as soon as they've got all the pieces welded together and made sure that they're watertight, where I'm standing right now would be flooded and the ship would actually be floated, and they continue building with the ship in a state of flotation. The reason for that is because they can start stressing the ship, making sure that it's exactly balanced as it should be, and then as soon as it's completed, this entire area is flooded, and right here this enormous wall is removed, and behind me is the River Ems, and the ship is backed out into the river. And then of course we have the conveyance where the ship is taken from Papenburg down to Emshaven, and the final stages of completion of the construction are completed there. So that's a pretty good way of you getting a complete feel for how this dry dock and fabrication shed work together in harmony. And so that is it. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I am going to leave you with this wonderfully spectacular shot of me standing literally on the keel of the Eclipse. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned a little bit about how you build a modern ship. I am now going to go for a bratwurst and a beer. Thanks for watching. Bye.